Hey, what's up, you guys? It has been a minute since I have posted a proper locals, but here I am. Never fear. I am bringing you guys what was, in essence, our last locals of the year. 2022 has been great. Starting Digimon in Joburg has been an amazing experience, and I love the community we have grown in the interim. And we're up to a huge amount of players. This tournament, for instance, was 16 players, 4 rounds, and it was awesome. Also, as you can see, I have brand new awesome overlays. I hope you guys like them. I try to put a little bit more effort into the editing like I said I would. If you guys don't like them so much, I will get rid of them if you obviously don't like them. But I thought it would be nice to have a clear indication of who's playing, what we're playing, as well as a system for seeing how much security is left, because it bugged me that even while I was doing the voiceovers for these, I couldn't tell how much security there was left. So this really helps because I, in editing, can count the swings and just dial it back to make the voiceover a bit easier. So here you guys can see this is round 1, game 1. You've got me piloting my Gabugon hybrid with all its upgrades. As you can see, that beautiful new addition of a Leomon. The one that has on deletion gain 2 memory, draw a card, as well as blocker when there's a team on the field. It is a really good addition to the deck. Not really for the blocker, though that does come in handy every now and then. It's mostly for the memory of the draw, because digging is very important in this deck. On the left is a new player you guys haven't seen before. This is my great friend Deacon. He's an amazing guy, and he can't make it to locals very often, and he was also waiting for his Sukuyamon deck to come in the mail, which finally did arrive. But I will say that there is an issue with his Sukuyamon deck that we didn't notice while we were testing the night before locals. He's missing his security plugin, his jamming plugin, and his evolution. So he's only running offensive plugin A for the security bonuses, and running the defensive plugin for the blocker and reboots. He did fairly well for having like only half technically a Sukuyamon deck built, but nonetheless, this was his his second locals edition, his second locals tournament. So he really just wanted to come enjoy another locals for once, experience it, have fun. It's just very awkward that he hasn't cut to locals in a while, and of course the person he playtests with and the person who taught him is the first person he plays against, which is kind of freaking weird, but hey. So as you guys can see here, we are going at quite a steady pace here. I am a bit more on the aggressive side than Sukuyamon is here. This could also be due to the fact that he doesn't have all his plugins, because if he had his evolution plugins, he would be ramping faster, he would be hitting and swinging a lot more frequently. But Deacon does enjoy a rather more controlled gameplay, so I don't know if this doesn't fit his playstyle more, but we shall see as it progresses. You will see a lot of moments where Deacon does things and I'm correcting him, but that is because he's also still learning, so it is a bit of a beginner kind of experience for him as well. He is making full use though of that maid mode, healing himself. As you saw, he took 2 damage, then re-healed using the maid mode. He lost out on the security effect, but he didn't mind because at the end of the day, he did heal and he would get it back when it was checked later in security. Here I'm just stripping some sources just because it doesn't seem like I really have anything else. This weekend I did notice that the Gabumon deck does struggle. I love it to bits. It's one of my favorite decks. But I'm either got too many Gabumons that I don't know what to do with them, or I absolutely have none and I can't find any. I believe in this game I didn't find any. The next following game I'm going to find all of them, and then the third game will be a surprise. But anyways, here Deacon making good headway on his board. He's got 2 maid modes up. I'm sitting on just a lone Kumamon and don't know what else to do. There you saw he attempted to swing, me showing him that he has already passed the turn. He was previously a Magic player before coming into Digimon, ex-Magic player. He only really played Command. He played Standard for a short period of time, but he's more used to the Magic way of playing. I believe at one point he even attempts to swing with all his cards, and I'm like, no, you have to swing one at a time. But it's cool. He finds the game very fun, very interesting, and I love that other people are enjoying this game so much. I'm really hoping we can just keep growing this community. Durban is doing great growing down there. Cape Town is doing amazing as well, getting product fast, quickly, and effectively. They're even getting some really cool products. For example, Durban and Cape Town have been getting the EXO3 gift boxes, which hopefully I can do a box opening on. I'm hoping to get them before the end of the year, but we'll have to see if they get here in time. So here I'm kind of like trying to help Deacon by telling him, what do you want to do on swing? Expecting him to remember that he needs to tap his Rikas on swing to get the effect. And there on the second swing, after I had reminded him, he was like, okay, that's fine, don't worry. Second swing, tap Rika, play the offensive plug-in A. It's fine. He was only had the one, I believe, so he was only ever going to get 1 plus 2. So whether it was on the first or the second really didn't matter at the end of the day. Oh no, he did have a second one. Okay, well then that was a misplay on his part. But once again, no harm, no foul. He is learning. Our Locals is a very casual one, guys. Like, we are not looking to be meta sheep. We are not looking to like have the most hardcore built decks. We're here to enjoy this game because it is such a fun game. We're just looking to like escape the monotony of the other card games. So if we make suboptimal plays, don't grind us. We're just trying to have fun. We're not looking to like do anything hectic. Some people do have more meta strategies than others, but that's just because they like the strategy, or it's just the cheapest cards they could pick up. So it is what it is. So here I'm doing quite a bit of damage. He's got me down to 2. I've got him at 3, but the main modes just keep him up there for me. And like I said, it seems like I'm struggling to find cards. And I think I do scoop it up here because no matter what I do, he's got like 3 cards on the board. Oh no, I don't scoop it up here. Oh, okay, cool. Good thing I had the Kaida's Breath to bounce, because otherwise it's pretty much clean on the walls. Never mind, it's clean on the walls anyways. Because, yeah, there. I didn't even perform the search of the offensive plugin, because it didn't matter. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought that Kaida's Breath was going to save me, because Sakuya's plugins always clutch it out in the end. So here we're just going to go to a game 2. We're going to shuffle up and hope for the best. And then hopefully I can clutch it out and we can go to a game 3. Otherwise this is going to be very bad with the student becoming the master after like 1 tournament and one night of practice in which he played like I think 2 games. We really screwed around on our quote-unquote game testing nights. We pretty much just chatted and chilled and ate pizza and stuff. We didn't even really get much testing through. I think of myself, I only got like 1 game in. But hey. So there we go, we're resetting the security, going all the way back up to full. And I believe I'm going to kick it off. Oh no, I'm going second. Oh, right. So fun fact about Deacon, he loves going second no matter what the game, because he likes to observe a strategy and then pick it apart piece by piece. So he was very upset that the fact that I wanted to go second. But Gababon does appreciate going second, because then I can set up like mats. Ooh, and he's hard dropping a Cubimon. Well, that's good for me, bad for him. So I'm going to Evo into the Gabu X there in the back, draw for the Evo. Suboptimal. You really want to go Gabumon first, then Gabu X, but go for the Gabu search, hitting no tamers. It's kind of unfortunate. Hopefully I have at least one in my hand. And it looks like I do. Great. So I drop 1 mat and I'm good to go there. So on the pass, the mat is going to get me a draw and a memory, and I even Evo into the Leomon for the blocker. Looks like we're just passing. I'm going to promote, gain a memory and draw, going all the way up to 3. So here I can either go into another Leomon, or I'm just going to swing and somehow survive. Wow. So here I could swing with the other Leo. I'm going to Evo into a new Leo first though. Okay, looks like I'm going for the stun over the stun over the swing. I feel that's a mistake on my part looking back at this now. It probably would have been better to Evo into the Leo swing, hoping for a deletion and gain a memory, and then, yeah, leaving the other Leomon up for the blocker, because there's no point in Innocence Blizzard when the board is pretty much non-existent. Kind of a waste on my part, probably, but it's what it is. Oh, unfortunately, Deacon just has to pass there, giving me 3. Looks like I'm going to go Tommy here. I'm going to strip and get a draw off the Kiaro. Looks like I'm going in for that. Okay. Come on. They're supposed to be dying. They're just Murphy's. It's just Murphy's law that cards don't do what you want them to do, and you just kind of got to deal with it. So here I'm just going to Hammer Spark, and I'm going to Rail Start it back to his hand because Deacon seems to be struggling there with Digimon, so it's not a bad bet to just bounce stuff to his hand, clear his board open, especially because he has to really reset everything. So he's going to pop the memory boost there, going all the way up to 6, dropping a Talmon for 8. Oof. I mean, it made it a bit easier, but oof. Going Sakuya, dying, getting the extra memory, and drawing. I'm going for it. Looks like I'm going straight for that Gabumon, bottoming, swinging, and just closing it out. Gabumon is so good. I love this card so much. It's kind of sacky, I'm not gonna lie, because when it goes off, it feels kind of bad for your opponent, like especially when they only have Mons in their security and they have no options. But like, I mean, it's what the deck is designed for. It's literally its entire function. Just swing for the face and clear out the board. So I can't feel too bad because it's literally the way I designed the deck. It's even with the control aspect of things like Innocence Blizzard. So it is what it is. I think over here someone was about to call me for a ruling, and then they said they were okay. So I was like, all right, shot. Oh no, I think Kanan came to talk to me because he clean 2-0'd one of his opponent in round 1, and he was just scoping out the competition. You'll see us talking a lot because there's like 4 or 5 people around us, kind of like distracting us from the game. Oh yeah, here I pick up my deck because I don't know what I did, but obviously when I shuffled one clump, I shuffled it upside down. And that's very irritating to me because that's one of like, I have like OCD about like certain things, not everything. And this is one of those things that just bugs the ever-living hell out of me. Like, I cannot stand it when like half the deck, like half the cards you're drawing are upside down, half of them are right way up. Same thing when I see people put cards back upside down. Sometimes I'll just walk up to them and like shift their card around and be like, can you please just put it one way? There I'm swinging with the Leomon. I am fetching a Gabu off the top thanks to the EX01 Gabumon's inheritable. There Deacon was offering to like check and reshuffle the deck for me. I don't think he realized that would mean he would look at the whole deck, but he just made it good. What you just saw there was my best friend Vodo just kind of like flashing. It was like, hey, Easter egg for your viewers. And I'm like, my guy, it's going to be so sped up. No one's going to see shit, but alright. Alright, so it looks like the Leomon died. I kind of evoted to the Kuma, presumably for the draw. I love Kuma, and at the same time, I hate it. I love it because of the source stripping, which procs the Kyuros, but at this and that it's a hybrid for game. I'm really hard considering switching it for Korikakumon, just because I also do play the Tommy, in which case Korikakumon would arguably be better, because on swing would strip and stun. But I don't know, like, the thing is sometimes I do need it to evo onto the Gabumon when I don't have anything. So I do sometimes really need it for that. Ooh, looks like I am Gabubonding here. Clearing out basically all security, but do I have the... No, even if I have the hybrid, I'm passing it over. I would need double Hammer Spark hybrid. I think they were just resolving one of the plugins that got checked. Oh, it was defensive plugin, right. Oh, it looks like I'm just going Howling and I'm losing the Gabubond. But with nothing really much, I've got a Howling ready to give myself the 2 memory I need for hybrid for game. And I don't know if that's what I'm explaining to Deacon. Oh no, he's just going to drop a QB. Draw, promote, hybrid for game. Yeah, there it is. It is what it is. I do feel like if he had his other plugins, it would kind of clutch it out better. Next up, we've got said best friend Voda coming in with Ragnar Lordmon, of all things. This was, so Voda, fun fact, Voda and I tested Digimon together back in 2020 when it was first announced. We were super hyped. I was going to play, bless my heart, Black War Greymon. Not Black War Greymon, but Color Black War Greymon, reboot blocker. And he was going to play BT old Ragnar Lordmon. So it's really funny that he's trying to really stick to that route. But yeah. Oh, this is another thing you'll see with Voda. Voda loves to hard play his Digimon and just kind of like intimidate his opponents, because his logic is in turn 1, not everyone's going to be able to set up correctly. And because we share a goddamn brain cell, I kind of like called him on his BS and slapped down my Gabu Bond as well, which was in hindsight stupid. He's now just going to swing with the Duranda, do a check, attach, do another check, add it to hand, do 2 security checks here, and then if I'm not mistaken, he's going to clear out my Gabu Bond. Oh yeah, there it is. You can see it there in his hand. Oh no, he drew in. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know he drew into it. That makes this so much worse. So he did Fireball for 2, drew into the removal, removed the Gabu Bond. What the hell? Alright, so I'm gonna have a spark here. I'm gonna instance Blizzard and just strip some resources, get that going. Because Ragnar is one of those decks where if you let it get its stack going, it is a hard deck to beat. You cannot under any circumstances let that stack get going, because the minute it's there, you're done. You have to get rid of its stack, or you have to just kill the Digimon outright with removal or battle, one way or another. So then we're going to go for the Legend Arm Alliance, and he's just going to play the level 5, no effects going off. Here I'm just going to hatch an Evo. I think my objective with Voda is just like kill as quickly as possible. These new Gabumons are great because they search for the mats, but I whiff them so often, it makes me question whether they're worth it or not. There I attempt to use the security plugin, realizing I cannot. Then I just go for a swing and then just drop a EX01 Gabu. I think I'm hoping to Evo it next turn with a Leo and then go for a swing. Hopefully searching out a mat. Because I did also struggle in this tournament to also find mats, because the deck really does heavily rely on it. So if I can't find it, it does make the strategy a little more suboptimal. So if I can dig faster for it, the better. Here he's just going to go for a swing, he's going to attach the Legend Arm, and he's going to delete. Here I'm just explaining to him the EX01 is the better hit, because it does have the inherited, whereas the other one is just kind of a Gabumon. Once again, Voda as well is also pretty fresh to Digimon. He's only had 1 tournament. Another fun fact, he won the first tournament he ever played, playing Hard Play Red. Of all goddamn things, no one ever believed me when I told them that, but yes, Voda did Hard Play Red, and I think it was in BT6 format, and won. How? No one will ever know. It was when the Gallantmon and All Force Digimon Structure X came out. He worked a miracle that weekend that even I was like, how? I mean, I lost in round 1, so I never saw you, but how did you beat everyone else? Everyone else was playing pretty competent decks, so, well, albeit from me to like judge the man's skill. But here, for example, he just took me out in round 1. I just couldn't find mats. There's literally nothing. That first turn Gabu Bond, just to be cheeky, I think was the misplay. I think after this round, I was like, okay, I know we share a brain cell, but let's not call him on his BS. I'm not gonna lie, I was fully under the impression he had that removal card in hand when he made the initial play, knowing he could out whatever I dropped down. It makes this so much worse that he just drew into it. So if he hadn't drawn into it, I would have just had a beautiful Gabu Bond on table at all times. What the heck? Well, I mean, in all fairness, he would have drawn into it at later stages, and it's not like I could have bottomed the Duranda, because Gabu Bond only bottoms level 5 or lower Digimon, so he was still fine no matter what he did. So here's just hatching and evoing in the back and dropping those level 5s. I think we did have a chat after this tournament that the level 5... Wow! Okay, Gabu double mat into Gabu search mat. Wow! You see what... This is the thing about this deck. Gabumon Hybrid is cool because it has a great strategy, but it's so coin flippy. You either get everything you want and have a cracked start like this, or you find absolutely nothing like I did in game 1. Like it's really a 50-50, and that's arguably a very bad way to build your decks. But I keep coming back to it just because I love it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've never been a Matt fan, really. I was more a Tai fan than a Matt fan, let's put it that way. I've never been a huge fan of Matt. Gabumon I've loved, but I've never been a huge fan of Matt. But after watching Last Adventure Kizuna, I did kind of like enjoy him as a character and how he worked with Tai. And then when they announced that like it was gonna come early in a set, I was like, sure, let's freaking go, let's do this. So here I am Gabu bonding like immediately. Arguably a bad idea. Oh wow, the deletion. Arguably you should have gone for the Gabumon because then he would have saved himself an extra delete. He would have saved himself an extra swing. Because the Gabumon was killing itself at the end of turn anyways, but I don't think he remembered that stipulation of the card. Looks like there he is playing down, attaching, searching, attaching, and deleting. That's Zubamon. I think it's Zuba Egamon, the one that on attach deletes a 5k or less. He hits that way too often. Can I just add here? Like he finds it just somehow. Oof, the Tommy here though is very good, wiping out basically everything under that Brightway Ludramon, kind of forcing him to reset back. Ooh, we do see a Ragnar in his hand. Is he gonna go for a blitz here, or is he rather gonna look for a setup? He's eyeballing it. Let's go for the blitz. Got a draw. He's gonna blitz. He doesn't get any security popping or deleting because he didn't DNA. And there's really nothing underneath it here. I'm just reading Ragnar because I'm just trying to understand. Because once again, no one really plays this card, this deck, so I really need to reread it. And here I think I'm at a comfortable spot. I think I'm just going full setup mode here. Because I believe at this point I have a Gabumon in hand. I've now got the correct Gabumon down. What happened here? Oh, right. He's become unaffected by Digimon effects. That's right. I completely forgot about this moment. But it's still fine. I promote the Kumamon, though I don't get to strip. I was considering taking it back, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. I committed to the play. Let's commit to the mistake. Which I always find good. Sometimes I do take things back, but I often try to like hold myself. Like I know we're casual and we're just here to really learn and have fun. I do need to remind myself to make plays correctly and smoothly, because I do still want to be good at the game, even if I'm not like the greatest or have like the best deck in the world. So there you saw I just opted to leave the play as is, play an Innocent Blizzard, still get the effect I wanted off. Whew. Innocent Blizzard Insecurity is cracked. You'll see here I get up to go get a confirm with like the two other players at my locals, Anton and Kanan, who are also like relatively good players, and we've like read deeper into the rules than most people, so we kind of like consider ourselves like the judges at locals. I was just confirming, because how I interpreted Instant Blizzard is it says your opponents cannot attack or block with you basically stun the things without sources until the end of your opponent's next turn. So I interpreted that literally as like, okay, you checked it in security, the main effect does trigger, those two things are now stunned, not just on my turn, but on his next turn as well, until the end of that turn. And I was just confirming it, and we all came to the consensus that it does, which does make sense, because it does say the end of their next turn. So that would exclude this current turn. Here you can see I am going in, like I said, I had everything. I'm even doing the security plug-in just to get that excess going, and then I swing in and clean that up there. I think if I'm not mistaken, Voda was a bit salty at the Gabu Bond because it does clean like really quickly when it goes off. But this was an especially bad matchup because of the way Voda plays with hard dropping, like expensive cards. It gives me a lot of memory, and Gabu Bond realistically to be insane just needs 5. 3 to Evo into the Gabu Bond and 2 for the offensive plug-in A. So he literally gave me like everything I needed, and then I just like blitzed it down. But that is nothing, and I literally mean nothing compared to what you're about to see next. And I will be the first to admit, this was real rough for someone who's only played like 3 or 4 games of Digimon. And if Voda was slightly salty before, he's about to be molding. Not at me. Like, he did exclaim. Like, it wasn't at me. It was at the game. Because he really... The thing that you're about to see happen was really hectic. Like, really hectic. So here you can see I'm having, like, the perfect setup. I've got the Gabumon down. I think I also had the mats in opening hand, which I should drop here to pass turn. Yep. And now I'm just like thinking, I have the Gabumon hand, I have the mat, so either I'm going to Gabumon next turn, or I'm going to do something else. It'll depend on how much he gives me. So you see he goes for the search there with the old Ludomon from the earlier sets to search for 2. He gets the Ragnar and a Legend Arms. In this case, he gets the Zubamon, the Zuba Egamon. And there was the mistake. He played a heavy Digimon and gave me everything I needed. The minute I saw 2 Ragnars disappear, you can see me contemplating here. I saw 2 Ragnars disappear. My logic was he plays 4. What are the chances there's another 2 in there? I just swing for broke. And in turn 3, I wipe his board and clean him out. Yeah, you can see over here, he's not even reading the cards. I'm showing him that I didn't cheat him at all. He's like, nah, don't you read that, don't you read that. I know what those do. Where's the BS coming from? Where is this BS coming from? So he's reading mat here, realizing it's the mat causing that ish. Yeah, he's a little salty, just a little, and he even scoops it up. He's like, there's literally nothing I can do. What am I supposed to do? I'm on zero security, so like I can get a blocker out or anything like that. So he just kind of cooks it and scoops it. I felt really bad, I'm not gonna lie. But if it makes you guys feel better, he will be avenged later. And when I say avenged, I mean like avenged. So here, as you can see on the screen, you now have Anton bringing out his Sakuyamon deck. I'm expecting this matchup to be a lot harder because of the DP reduction. I can't keep the Gabus out for too long. Sure, the Leos are fine, but the excuse me, the Gabumons, oof, I am not too confident about those. So here I'm just gonna Evo and Razor and getting the Kuma on top of it. This is one of the places where I'm like, Kumamon is great because it's only 2, whereas Kurikaku would have been 3 costs to Evo, and I do sometimes need it to Evo into the Gabumon because the EXR1 is an inherited ability to do the search when it swings. If it was attached to the Gabumon, I wouldn't even think of using Kumamon, but because it's inherited to do the search, I do need like cheaper costed. And the alternative is Lobomon, which does absolutely nothing. So I'd rather take the Kumamon and then also able to play the Kyaromons to get at least some benefit from the Kumamons. Because I can always promote the EXO1, get the draw off mat and the memory, Digivolve into the Kuma, strip, and get a draw off the Kyaro. So Kuma, for all intents and purposes, is probably a better option than everything else. Here you can see Anton is going wide, and I am stripping with Kumamon just to like make sure his stacks aren't like getting super good benefits, especially things like that Viximon, which is really good. Here I'm just going to go for a Howling and stun one of his Renamon. It doesn't really matter which one, because they trigger whenever a plugin's played, so regardless of which one is on field, it will still get that effect. Here he swings with the Rena, getting the Digivolution plug in S off the Rika, Evoing and searching with QB, and then I believe just swinging into the Kuma, clearing the board. He's seen me play Gabumon before, so he knows the real threats can't be dealt with because it really just comes out immediately. When I promote a Gabumon, at any point it could just Evo into a Gabumon and swing, but then disappear because it deletes itself. Here he's got a really good tech card that I was not really prepared for. This purple Mimi for 2 cost, anytime I would use an option card effect, he can tap the Mimi to gain a memory, basically increasing the cost of my option cards. So these Howlings technically are only 3 memory, not 4 memory, because if he taps that Mimi, I'm going to lose out. So here I'm just dropping another Howling, stripping and stunning again, and then he's continuing on. I think I joked with him here, like, do you want to tap your Mimi for an extra memory? It's like, I'm going to go to 3 anyways with the Pika, why the hell would I do that? I'm like, I'm just joking. So here he just hatches and in racing and Evos, having an easier time than Deacon finding his level 3s. Like, he's found, what, 3 level 3s so far? 4 level 3s, especially with the Patamons. So he's having a little bit of an easier time. He is going quite wide, getting a lot of his things off, evolving just continuously. We're gonna go into a Rise Greymon here. Interesting. We're gonna play a Rika. We are gonna play a TK and Kari. All right. There he hits basically into Gabu X. Nothing too threatening. Doesn't even need to be half scared of that. But he does have 1 stunned and 1 just kind of chilling. So it's really going to determine what he does now. Okay, he's going to pass the turn with the Digivolution plug in A. Is he going to... Alright, he's going to Evo into the Rise over there. Drop his Rika and pass the turn over. Here I'm just going to promote the Gabu. I'm going to pop 1. I'm asking him here, I guess, if he wants to tap Mimi to only make a 1. He does. Evo into the Leo. I want to save these Howlings as long as possible. Because if I pop both, it'll be better than just popping 1. Here, popping 1 was fine, because either way, I was going to get the memory I needed for Leo, which is all I needed. I just needed the Leo memory. It would be great if I could pop the other 2 now and get great benefit out of them, but I just don't think I had the cards in hand for it. So here I just go for the swing. I don't really find anything off the Gabu. Except for the Gabu X, because that does count as a valid target. And I hit into another Mimi. Yes, this card is rough, especially in multiples, because now everything I play is 2 less. I mean, 2 more expensive. So it really makes it hard when using option cards. What is the best play to make? So unfortunately here, the Leomon didn't die, so I didn't get any memory from that or get to draw. So I'm just going to slap down a Gabu for next turn. He's going to unsuspend everything, and he's going to go all the way up to 5 thanks to us, thanks to him being under 3 security. Looks like here he's just viewing the board, seeing what it is he wants to do. He's going to promote the Renamon here, and probably just start going for swings. I have 4 security left. He's got 4 Digimon. If he can make something really big, then... Alright, looks like he's changed his mind from a QB to a Talmon, so he can drop his 3rd Rika. Good lord. That is a lot. I think he's getting all his procs going, reducing my DP of my Leo, which will give me the draw and the memory +2, kind of choking him out a bit. But with a board this wide, I honestly... Oh, and we're going for it. Jamming and security and getting rid of the Gabu thanks to the minus DP checks. Oof, this is rough. Wow, Innocence Blizzard. That is great. That's going to stun 2 of his Digimon, because the Rena and the Rise only have 1 source. So everything else is going to lose 1, but the Rena and Rise are going to lose basically everything. which means he's only got one more swing as opposed to the 50 million swings he had prior. If you haven't noticed, this Innocent Blizzard, this tournament is putting in the legwork for my Gabumon deck. I am so happy I added it to the deck, and I will not lie, it is going to be a permanent stay in my deck, especially with so many decks running around that have Digimon that they just like spam the board with without any sources. It makes it even more effective. It's kind of like, well, they came out in the same set. It's like Crimson Blaze, wiping the board and stopping them from spreading. Innocence Blizzard is like, cool, you can keep them, but they're just not going to do anything. Which is kind of a little cheekier as well. It's a bit weaker because obviously they do then get to keep the cards, but at least it's something. And this is Gabumon. I know I've listed it here on the video as Gabumon Hybrid, but it's Gabumon. I lovingly call it Gabumon Control, because my objective is to control your board by messing with your Digimon. Here you can see I am demanding Anton make a play. Is he gonna give me 2, 4, 6, 7? Or is he giving me less? Wow, I am ballsy, just hard playing a Gabumon. Oh yes, I believe this was one of those games where it's like, I can't find Matt for anything, screw it. Let's just drop it and see what happens. What's the worst? Because I mean, his other 2 Digimon are stunned. If he hits another Innocence Blizzard, that's his other 2 Digimon stunned. So, what's no harm, no foul. The Gabumon would be on field, and yeah, there it is. I mean, it's kind of nice because I did force him to expend that much memory or leave the threat on board, but like, it would have been nicer if he was on 6, because then it would have passed the turn to me. Not that I could have done much with just a lone Gabumon in the racing area and no mats, but yeah. I don't know if I let this through, if I scoop. Because the thing is, if I hit another Innocence Blizzard, that is everything knocked out for another turn, but like, can I really rely on, I think, what is the 4th and final Innocence Blizzard being in security when 1 was already there? Not the best way to do it, but hey. Rattlestar's good though. Rattlestar I will take, so Rattlestar will bounce at level 5 or lower. If he has 3 or more, it bottom decks any Digimon, regardless of level. So it would have been cooler if there was a Sakuya on board I could have bottomed, but I'll take this, because it at least gives me another turn of survival. Because that other Rise and that Cubimon down there is not coming online anytime soon. Oh, I chose to bottom the Tau? Can't I just swim with the Rise now? Or am I going crazy? I've obviously missed something about that Rise. Yeah, here I'm just removing the dice because those 2 are back online, and yeah, there it is. I knew I scooped this at some point because I was like on such a back foot. This was, again, it's such a 50-50 deck. Half the time it's absolutely horrendous to the point it's disgusting, and then the other half of the time it does absolutely nothing because I can't find anything. So it's a real 50-50 deck. So I love playing it because when it works, that burst of euphoria you feel is glorious. But when it doesn't work, yes, it's a kick in the nuts. It hurts because like you really like, if you can't find it, it's so hard to explain this and put it into words, because without those pieces, it's useless. I mean, there's another deck in the format that's coming in the format now, D-Link, which does also rely on its Tamer Hina, but I don't even think D-Link relies as much on its Tamer as this does. This is like insane reliance on its Tamer. And I have what hurts me the most is I have so many ways to search it. I have so many chances to hit a mat, and it takes forever to find one. I have so many other decks. For instance, I've got a Justicemon deck that searches every turn 2 to 3 times the top 8 cards of my deck. And here, like, this is not that extreme, but like, it should at least somewhat hit. So like here I'm hitting nothing. I think I should just go for the Gabumon that... Oh, I'm not. I'm going for the Gabumon for Gabumon. Arguably a mistake because the Searcher is objectively better right now if I don't have a mat down. Or maybe I have a mat in hand here. I'm not too certain. Here Anton's just popping off doing his thing. He's using the Digivolution plugin to Evo and Swing. He hits to Akuma. Oh no. He hasn't finished the swing yet. Oh no, he hit the Kumamon that was on field. Just to get rid of a bit of my board. That Leomon is unfortunately not a blocker because it does require a tamer on field before it becomes one. I do appreciate the way Anton plays Sukuya because even the other Sukuyamon players at Locals, being like Rob and myself, we never really swing with the lower levels to Evo into like QB and Tau. We normally only swing when it's like Taumon at the least, because we want to Evo into Sukuyas. But Anton just goes. He just goes for it. Like, he'll Evo. Oh, right. The Mimi games in memory whenever an option card is played, period. So here he's using it literally just to choke me out and just get a bit of heal going with the maid mode for that first security check, basically making my whole first turn null and void. But that's fine. Here I went for the guaranteed deletion by swinging into... Oh, wow, that's beautiful. So I got the memory I needed to play down the mat, and then I happily passed him 7 by removing his Sukuyamon from the field, basically resetting both our boards back to 0, but the difference being I am at a really good turn 1 for a Gabumon. I know I've given him quite a bit of memory. 7 is a lot for a Sukuyamon player, but he is rebuilding from scratch, so I don't need to be concerned about anything. And like a Gabumon deck, that Gabumon's going to come out and just start going ham. I don't need to worry about anything. So gaining off the mats and getting the draw. I think I was confirming there when I pointed to his board if the Meet Me triggers on mats, and I believe it just triggers on option cards, which tamers are. So that works out in my favor because now I can just Gabumon and go, but I do think I am here contemplating. I'm always very anxious when I Gabumon early, because I am hurting myself in the process. I'm losing security. So it's always like, it's a double-edged sword, but it's normally the right choice half the time. So you see me finally just committing to it. I am resetting his board to 0 at the end of the day as well. Anyways, even if I die on the first check, he has to restart from scratch as well as myself. So I think here Anton is just checking where all the swings are coming from, because it is 3 swings. Its initial swing, it unsuspends due to its own effect. It swings again, unsuspends due to Gabumon's effect, and then it has its base swing. Ooh! Digivolution plugin S hitting nothing but plugins. That's interesting. Gabumon making it through all 3 checks unscathed. It will delete itself at the end of the turn because I do still have security left over, but at least it got through all the checks. It would have been so nice if I also had an offensive plugin, but in order to do that, I would have needed 6 memory because he would have tapped Mimi to make that a 3 cost instead of a 2. And I need 3 also to Evo into Gabumon. So it does hurt the strategy so much because it really forces me to only do like the bare minimum I can with Gabumon, instead of like in the previous game with Vota where he gave me so much memory. I had literally full power to just take his deck to behind the shed and just pop a cap. Like, so here I'm just going full on setup mode. The Gabu X is so nice, just because it is a pseudo level 4, but at the same time still a Gabumon to proc Matt's effect. So I really do appreciate that. But it can be a little bit of a 50-50, because like if I had Gabumon in my hand, I could have evoed and gone for game, but oh no, I couldn't have. I think I had like 1 or 2 memory. That's why I went this route. But even if I have, like, for instance, Gabumon for the next turn, if I didn't have the correct Gabumon in Raising, that Gabu X can't be evoed, because Matt specifically states it has to be a Gabumon specifically that evos into Gabumon. So it's not like I can do a Gabumon in its name, but it is what it is. I will take it as a pseudo level 4 and work around the restriction on my Gabumon, then not have it altogether. Here you can see Anton is just activating plugins just to proc Sakuya to DP reduce and delete my Gabumons, which is really smart on his part, because it does get rid of threats without having to actually commit to anything. So in that sense, it is great. Here, if I have the Gabumon, it is just GG. Right? Because if I pop the Howling, he'll tap Mimi, so it'll go put me up to 4. Oh, I don't have the Gabumon. Pain. So I drop the Howling, he taps the Mimi to make it 4, and then, yeah. But then why did I pull up the Gabumon? That was not smart of me whatsoever. That Gabumon would be best served in Raising, especially because the Sakuya is just going to delete it. I could have literally just dropped that Howling by itself and not even promoted the Gabumon. Or did I? Oh, I think I Hail Married the draw, because it's gain a memory and draw off the mat. I think I Hail Married. I gotta stop doing that. There's already 1 Gabumon out, and I've still got 3 security. There's a high chance there's at least 1 in security, and then who knows where the other 2 are on the deck. That was really ballsy, and clearly did not pay off. On the plus side, I am keeping that Sakuyamon stunned while he is bringing up new Digimon. But even if he does bring up new Digimon, as long as that Sakuyamon's stunned, I'm happy. Because everything else, while still bodies on board, is nothing compared to what would happen if that Sakuyamon swung. If that Sakuyamon swung, a lot of stuff could happen that would be very bad for me. So I think here I am just trying to control and stall the board. And here Anton is kind of responding in kind with his Sakuyas. Oh, I had another version of another copy. He's gonna make that only a 3 cost, not a 2 cost. Oh, but what am I gonna do here? Do I have double Innocence? Well, I mean, at least 1 Innocence Blizzard would be fine. Oh, wow. So, Howling will. I can't remember. I don't know what we are discussing exactly here. But Howling strips and then doesn't do anything. But I did have the Innocence Blizzard to strip the last one and stun both, which is great because now only that Patamon is coming out able to swing. And that buys me the 1 turn I need for this Gabumon, because even with the Mimi on board, I have guaranteed 3 memory. If he chokes me at 1, pop the Howling, taps Mimi, I gain 1 instead of 2, but then promote the Gabu, gain another memory off the mat. So if I have the Gabumon in hand, I've got this game cleaned. Well, provided there's nothing cracked in security. Let's see, what's he doing here? Going QB, going Evolution plug-in, drawing, and going into Tau? Oh no, he's putting his Tau into Miko. Miko getting defense. Oh, I see what he's doing. Right, he did the heal. Oh, that is lovely. That is lovely. Another mat. That's another memory and another draw. Not that it matters though, because he's kind of saved himself, because now he has 3 security. The only way. Oh, that's generous of him. That's quite a bit of memory he's giving me. Oh wait, I remember what happened here. So I pop the Howling, puts me to 6. I Gabumon. I security plug in. And I'm going to just start going. I can only bottom the QB because the other two are level 6s, so I cannot do the... Oof. That makes things a lot harder with the Mimi on board. Damn. Because even if I have the Kubamon now and a Hammer Spark, I would need double Hammer Spark. Oh no, what am I saying? I'm doing 2 security checks each swing and I get 3 swings. I didn't even need it. Oh my word, I am not even paying attention. I'm not even paying attention. Right, the Gabumon had everything stacked on it. He gave me enough memory to Gabumon, give it security +1, and with all 3 swings on 4 security, that's clearing the security on the first 2 checks and then just swinging for game. I literally just had to Hail Mary that I didn't die, but I do believe it was also time in the round, making that a draw. I know, a little anticlimactic. I also, in the moment, wished it had gone to game 3, because I love games like that, where it's a back and forth, it's literally by the skin of our teeth. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be. So here we are, in finals, I believe, because even though we drew, I played up to Kanan. So I was vying for 2nd place here, and then I got bumped way down. Because I will kind of spoil it, Kanan wins. Because this deck is absolutely insane. Kanan is, as you can see on the screen, playing Bloom Lordmon. And I heard about this deck. I heard it was meta. I heard it was like tier 1. I heard it was really super good. But I was like, I have a pretty decent chance. Look at this. I'm doing great. I'm evoing, drawing twice because of the X. I'm finding a mat immediately. Everything's great. Yes, he's evoing for cheap with his Vegemons and stuff like that. But I'm doing great as well. Little did I know of the chaos this deck has. He drops his Memory Tamer, so now I cannot choke him at all. But I don't have a Memory Tamer. I rely solely on the mats because arguably they're better than a Memory Tamer when you do hit a whole bunch of them. But that, again, relies on me hitting a whole bunch. So here I just go for an early cheeky swing and I just drop the mat down. I don't want to promote because obviously the benefit comes from the promote, draw, and gain a memory. And with him, I can see what he's kind of attempting to do here with choking me out because green does evo for free. My thought process was get mats down quickly and fast as possible. Search as much as I can and get them down. But here he keeps playing other things. He dropped a floodgate that allows me only to gain from what's his names? From Tamers. But that was fine. It's the only thing I really gain memory from anyways. So here, wait, what? Oh, I think that was a misplay over there. Did he just attach like 3 cards because of Innocence Blizzard? No. Wait, did he? Yeah, if you saw that, I did not notice because the playback happened so quickly. But if you saw that in please type it in the comments below. I think that was a misplay on that part. But not that it's a big deal. Here comes Big Bad Bloom Lord. The fact that this card gets security +1 for everything that it suspends. The rest of the deck keeps playing new Digimon suspended. Like that. And it includes itself in its suspend effect. Is actually insane. Innocence Blizzard once again putting in the work, stunning his Mushroom and his Red Vegemon. Great. He just keeps going. Now he plays the Palmon, searches for a Mushroomon, grabs that, adds it to his hand, and he's doing all of this for like 2 to 3 memory a turn. Like, I'm not keeping up at all with the card economy. He is outpacing me left and right. I am finding my pieces. I have all the good things in my hand to do all the great plays. But it doesn't matter, especially with the Bloom Lord's effect. Because I think right now I have an Innocence Blizzard in my hand, and sure, I can strip the veggie and I can stun 3 so he only has 2 Digimon. It's so much harder because he can tap his own things. That Bloom Lord will swing for 2 checks, and then he just needs to swing for the last one for game. So it's so much harder. I need to find more ways to stun. I think here, here I just rattle start getting rid of the Bloom Lord because I'm like, let's get rid of the biggest problem, and then we'll deal with the rest later, because this is only 2 swings, which clears the last 2 security, but hopefully there's something spicy in there that can deal with the rest of his board. But now he goes with Agitar. Agitarmon, I don't know what that does. I assumed it would suspend my stuff, but no, he can suspend his things to play a Digimon for free. There is so much playing cards for free in this deck, and finding all its combo pieces, it's actually insane. And the thing is, he hasn't even used one of his other extremely, because Bloom Lord is the name of the deck, right? So Bloom Lord is the boss monster. There is another his sub-level 6, his backup level 6, is good enough on its own to be a main level 6. Okay, so there I kind of got lucky with the Gabubon being on the first check, clearing out that Bloom Lord, thankfully, but I can't rely on that happening very often. And everything comes back online now. And much like I told you guys before, that cannot be evoed into a Gabubond. And I even think I have a Gabubond in hand. If that could have been evoed into a Gabubond, it would have been so much closer to the wire. Because I could have swung 3 times, but gone for 2 of his security and the Agitarmon. Deleted 2 security, bottomed everything, and deleted the Agitar so we would only have 1 thing on the promotes. Here I scoop because there's literally nothing I can do because I evoed I didn't have to, but because I chose to evo earlier, I actually messed myself up for future. So there I just got like swarmed out of existence, and now while I'm shuffling up, I'm pretty sure I was thinking, if I'm not mistaken, I was thinking to myself, okay, cool, he swarms, so I just need to be aggressive as all hell and get those early chips in, and kind of just like blitz. But at the same time, with very little memory being given to me every turn, it's gonna make this a lot harder. I did elect him to go first. Oh no, oh, that might have been a bad mistake on my part. I should have let him go first. Oh, Tommy is pretty nice, especially for stunning purposes. Because also stun is also available to me, because he did have very small stacks. Aside from his main stack, he has he's playing things for 1, playing things for free, evoing up 1 level instead of 3 to 4. Like, he pretty much sticks at like lower levels, so it kind of works. But this choking is insane. Oh, there you see me like second guess the promotion and think for a Tommy. That wasn't a good idea. I should have just promoted, swung with both. Yeah, I should have just promoted, swung with both. That actually probably would have been like the best idea. Here he's just evoing raising, Kanan adapting to my playstyle, but me not adapting to his. I don't know what was wrong with me. Like, this came out 1 turn way too late. And why am I playing and not swinging? Wait, what is wrong with me? Is it because it's round 4 and my brain's baked? I haven't watched. When I was doing the editing, I wasn't paying attention to like the plays we were making. I was simply looking for the security changes so that I could do the gauges to show how security was going down. I could have been 2 checks in already. Why wouldn't I swing? That makes no sense. And then he wouldn't be able to do any of this, because now he gets benefits from my stuff being tapped as well. Why didn't I swing? I don't understand. Was there a specific reason? Guys, you are literally like listening to me like have a mental breakdown because I have no idea what happened. I don't know what was going on in my mind. That was easy, like 2 swings I could have had already down. And now here's, this card. This card I have such a problem with. Not only with its alt art, but just with the card in general. It's so insane because it's a great combo piece and a floodgate. Because whenever something gets suspended, he gains memory from it. Including when I suspend. So on my turn, he will gain memory for every suspended Digimon on both our sides of the field whenever I suspend something. So the minute I promote something, like even if I went Tommy into Kuma for a swing, that thing would literally, on swing, give him 5 memory, putting him all the way at 4, instantaneously. I can't pop the Howling to get memory because of the Pumamon. Oh. Did we both miss that? Or am I looking at the wrong Pumamon? I think that is the wrong one I am thinking of. I don't think that's the Floodgate level 3. So here Kanan is lovingly telling me about this absolutely insane effect that really just is absolutely nutter butter. Because I was thinking like, okay, cool, swing with the Kumon, clear 1, and then use an option card to stun 1. That's only 2 checks. Stun the Bloom Lord, only gets 2 checks with the Hydra and the other level 3. And then I have an extra turn to pull out that Gabumon and Evo into the Gabumon. And then I get told that this Hydramon is a floodgate. There's literally nothing I could have done aside from like here I'm even like telling Kanan like there's literally nothing I could do. I can Rattlestar, bottom deck your Bloom Lord, and hope something happens to your Hydra, or I get a this was probably a mistake on my part because I did remind Kanan about Innocence Blizzard. So here you'll see him build a stack enough that it makes basically Innocence Blizzard obsolete. So here we go. This is the second last swing. I think he's just, yep, there it is. Unfortunate, guys. Kanan does take yet another weekend of Digimon. This time with another degenerate deck. This man needs to like, every time a new set comes out, I think I'm going to review the sets. The minute I see a super degenerate strategy, I'm just going to say Kanan is banned from buying, collecting, even looking at it. Like, because it is absolutely insane what the wrong deck can do in this man's hands. Like, he's just way too insane with these kind of combo pieces. But that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This will be the last locals for the year. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for the next one. And I will see you, beautiful people, next time. Peace.